So, it's funny because when I just looked at the brand plans we did at the beginning of the year, and I realized that we didn't execute on anything post March. Like everything has changed, So I, I always get asked, actually the last couple of weeks, especially like, what's our forecast? What do we see consumers, as we think about going into the new normal or the next normal, however, what we call it, right? And then the truth of the matter is, I don't know. I don't think anybody does. What I would say though is we've tried to understand the impact of this and what we think will happen. So we've used both qualitative and quantitative data, especially as it relates to consumer behavior, right? There are health trends out there, what we're seeing and working with data partners, right? So people like Doximity, Kinsa, all these guys to try and figure out um, from a data standpoint, what are we predicting 12 weeks, 18 weeks out. However, I would say creating a vision board in terms of what the new normal looks like, which is exactly what we're all talking about. I think we all know kind of directionally where we're going to go, right? People are going to there's going to be a lot more digital savviness, as people think about a new way of being mentally prepared. They're thinking about new ways of looking at food, looking at entertainment, and all that kind of stuff. But having said that, I think it's more how we learn to, with our vision or with what we think we know, pivot along the way, because in the next 1 week, 2 weeks, anything can happen. Is the second wave of COVID really coming, in September? Is it not? I think these are just questions that we constantly have in our head, and we want to prepare ourselves and our brands for it, not so much even for our business, but also for the consumer needs, right? If they need, enough medicine, enough food, and they need to go to shelves, will we have enough supply? Will we be able to communicate with them in a meaningful way in terms of providing them information that they need? So I think the data actually helps us keep a pulse on how we pivot. So I've been leaning a lot on that, a lot to data recently, especially, and more predictive analytics than anything else, just because I'm fascinated with how the world is changing and shaping. The traditional tools of research just doesn't, I think we're still using it, like focus groups, iterative ways of thinking about the consumer, but data analytics and predictive data analytics more so is what I'm relying on now to help me think through the next 12 months, the next 16 months until we get out of this.
Oke,
Ya,
Tantina.